This
for loop, then you will
conference
get
will
more
now be
clarity.
recorded.
Write a logic to print numbers to print numbers in a given range. So here I'm giving a small, like a task. Write a logic to print numbers in a given range. For that, how can we take values, right? So based on this statement, how can you read value? I mean, here my question is, will will you read question from, I mean, number from user, or we will initialize value by static? Based on this statement, how can you read value? Will you read value from user, or else you can define your own value? Just I want to know. Write a logic to print number in a given range. So actually, I think you heard about static and dynamic, right? Do you know what is the meaning of static? What is the meaning of dynamic? Anyone, please? Anyone, reply me in chat box. Changing. Subhan and Sunita says that is changing. Static in the sense it's not changeable. Static in the sense that is a fixed. Dynamic in the sense it will vary. There is a chance to vary value, so that we will call that is a dynamic. Static in the sense that is a fixed. So here I'm asking to you something, that is write a logic to print numbers in a given range. In this case, how can you implement this logic? I mean, by using static procedure or dynamic? In this, based on this statement, how can you implement this logic? I mean, which way you can use? Static is fixed, absolutely Mani Royal, that is fixed. Dynamic in the sense that is changeable. That part is over. Now answer to me for this. Here I'm trying to printing a numbers in a given range. For that, how can you implement this logic? I mean, by using static procedure or dynamic? Static in the sense, for a fixed number we are going to implementing a logic. Dynamic. So dynamic in the sense, how can you read value, guys? We are going to use applying dynamic procedure. For that, we have to read number from user, right? We have to read number from user. Then based on that value, we have to print numbers. So for that, how can you read number from user, guys? How can you read number from user? How can you read number from user in Python? Absolutely by using input method. So now I want to read integer value now. For that, how can you specify that in input method? I mean, how can you write a statement? Now I'm going to read exact integer value. Then only I can able to print numbers in given range. So in that case, I can write a statement. Absolutely, Sudarshan. Absolutely. That is int of input. Narendra. Fine. Int of input. So first we'll see that small program for this. So I'm going to take new file. So here I write. So as per my requirement, as per this requirement, we have to print a numbers in a given range. So that means we have to read a range from user. That means ending value we have to read. Say suppose I want to print values up to 20. For that we have to specify ending value now. Up to we have to specify. So that range, so that purpose, I'm going to reading a number from user n is equal to, or else by for naming conventions we have to specify int of number is equal to int of input of input. So I want to show a message to user, that is enter a number. I want to show this message. So reading part is over. So in this statement, I mean, from this line we are going to reading a number from user. So first when I execute this program, this input method will show this message, enter a number. So this input method will stay there only to read user's input. Then after getting that value, it will assign, this input method will assign to int method. So int method will convert that string number string value from convert that value from string to number, then it will assign to one variable, that is number. Now I have to iterate a loop. I want to print numbers up to given range, right? So that we have to iterate a loop for, you already know the syntax also, for variable name, that is I. In is the membership operator. For I in range of. Now I want to print the values from 1 to given range. In that case, how can I specify range? Now I want to print values from 1 to in a given range. For that case, how can I pass the parameters inside range, guys? I want to print numbers from 1 to in a given range, that is number here specified. For that, in that case, how can I specify range method? If I will give range of number, then value begins with, guys. If I will specify number like this, if I will specify variable like this, in that case, value starting from which value starting from where? If I will specify for I in range of number, in that case, what is the default beginning value for that? In the form of nums. Are you sure? If I will specify for I in range of number colon, I specified like that. In this case, what is the beginning value? Okay, you mean 1 to 10? No, 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 no. Absolutely, Swarna. Swarna says that is 0. So if you will specify range of a single parameter, actually for this range method, we can able to pass 3 different parameters. Minimum we can pass minimum 1 parameter, max we can pass 3 different. So if you will specify range of single parameter, there is a lot of difference between range of single parameter, range of 2 parameters, range of 3 parameters. Range method won't consider default values. For that range method, we have to pass minimum in the sense at least one value we have to pass. If you are passing range of single one, if you are calling range of single parameter, in the sense range of single value, in that case range method will consider given value. Whatever the value is specified inside range, it will consider that is the end of value, that is the ending value. That means this range method will consider beginning, by default beginning value is the 0, by default increment value is 1. Now here I specify number, so that is this number will be considered as ending value. So suppose if I will give 10, if I will give 10 range of 10, this loop will be iterate 10 times. From 0th position, iteration starting from 0 up to 9 up to 9, it will iterate. As per my requirement, I want to print numbers from 1 to in a given range. That means if user will enter value 10, I want to print 1 to 10. I want to include 10 also. For that case, what can you do? If user given value is 10, 10, in that case I want to print 1 to 10. I want to include 10 also. For that case, how can we enter 10? Yes, absolutely. No. If I will specify 0 comma 11 comma 1, by default incremented value is 1, so that no need to specify third parameter. So see here, I will show you here. So for this assignment, if user input, if user will give input like this, if user will give input 10, so your output should be like this. We have to print output like this, guys. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You have to print output like this. So you just assume your writing program is done. So your program asking to you something, enter input. Then in that case, here you are giving input value is 10. So we have to print like this from 1 to, you have to start printing value from 1, then up to 10. So here user given value is 10, right? I want to print 10 also. If user given value is 20, if user given value is 20, input value is 20, then we have to print you have to print up to 20. So from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 18, 19, 20. Up to 20 you have to print. I want to include exact value. For that case, how can you specify parameters? So we have to start from 1. So that we are giving range of 1 comma number. If I will give 1 comma number, in that case, how we will get that result? Yeah, print of I, that is over. Is it, I mean, if I will run this program, so for your clarity, I will save this one. I will save this program. So here I'm going to writing iter1.py. So now I want to run this program. Now you just assume if I will run this program, it will print up to, I mean, up to up. I mean, if I will give input value is 10, it will print up from 1 to 9 only. So you just see here. Just I'm running this one. Here it is asking value 10. So here I'm asking value something. I'm giving 5. So my loop will be iterate from 1 to 4 only. 1, 2, 3, 4. So starting for this range method, I'm giving range, I mean, starting value is 1. So here I'm giving ending value. Even I'm giving 5, here I'm giving value 5, but it's printing up to 4 only. I want to include 5 also. For that case, how can you alter this one? I want to include exact value. So what can you do for that? If I will specify, if I will give value 100, in that case I want to print values from 1 to up to 100. I mean, I want to include 100 also. Number, what can you do for that? Just assume yourself. So here this range method, here user giving 5, but while iterating this loop, it is considering only 4. I want to include 5 on, I want to include 5 also. So here range method is taking, I mean, ending value -1 position, right? In this number we have a value 5 number, I mean, we have value 5, but this iteration considering given number -1. I want to include exact. For that, what can we do? We have to add a number again. We have to add a number, that is number plus 1. Now in this case, user given value is, just assume user given value is 5. So here I'm adding 1, right? So that this condition, I mean, here iteration value is 6, so that this loop will be iterate up to 5. Now we can observe. Just save these changes. Just save the changes. Here I'm giving 5. Now I'm getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Same way again I'm going to execute in this one. Run module. Now I'm giving now I'm giving range 10. Enter a number 10. So here I'm getting from starting value, starting iteration is from 1, then ending value is 10. Even here I give, here I entered value is, I mean, value range is 10 only, right? I hope it is clear now. How to read a value, then how to print a in range. I'm reading a number from user, then for that, I mean, I want to print values from given number to, I mean, from 1 to in a given number. That means exact value. If you want to include exact value, for that you have to just add +1. If you are going arrays concept, then there is no need to specify +1. I hope it is clear to all, right? Give me a quickly play here. Yes, Prasanna is clear. Then what about others? If you have issue, you please raise here. I will answer you. If you have any issue with this, please reply me in chat box. I will answer you. Okay. All are clear. Fine. Thank you, Suvarna. Thank you, Radhika. Now we will see. Now, in this output, you please observe one thing. So here I am giving 10. So that output printing 1, 2, 3 like this. Now, if I will give value 1000, if I will enter range is 1000. In that case, what will happen, guys? In that case, it will try to occupy. I mean, number of lines it will occupy, right? So instead of printing these lines, I mean these numbers in line by line, I want to print these numbers in a single line. I mean in other programming languages, we have to specify /n, right? In other programming language, to print statement in new line, we have to use /n. But in Python programming, in this logic, I didn't specify /n I didn't specify. Even even it is printing. The program printing values in line by line. So now I want to print. I mean, instead of printing these numbers line by line, I want to print in single line. I want to print those values in single line. For that, we have to pass a extra parameter for this print statement. Actually, in C programming language, we will use print of /n. We will specify print of within quotations. We will specify /n. Then you will specify /n. But in Python, there is a deep in this print method, there is a default parameter with the name of end. With the name of end, it is existed. So that we have to break that rule. By default, print have a end is equal to /n. That is the reason each and every iteration we are getting. We are printing number in new line. Now I want to break that rule. So I want to break that default rule. For that, I have to pass end is equal to. I want to provide, instead of /n, I want to provide space. I want to provide space. Now you can observe, after printing I value, I'm using comma operator. End is equal to, I'm specifying double quote. Within double quotations, I'm specifying space. That means actually by default inside end there is a value like this. End is equal to /n is existed. By default, Python developers, Python team wrote like that. Now I'm trying to breaking that one. Instead of /n, instead of printing new line, I want to print in a single line. For that, I'm using space. Now 1 space, 2 space, 3 space, 4 space, like that I want to print. So that you just run this, save this program, then run it. Now it is asking something. So here I'm giving number 20. Now you can observe. So value is printing in a new line. 1 space, 2 space, 3 space, 4 space, up to 20 we are getting. Up to 20 we are getting. Now I want to provide hash in between numbers. Actually here in between numbers there is a space, right? 1 space, 2 space, something we have. Instead of that, I want to keep hash. 1 hash, 2 hash, 3 hash, 4 hash. For that case, what can I do? Instead of hash, I want to keep 1, guys. Instead of getting 1 space, 2 space, I want to get 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4. For that case, what can I do, guys? Fine, Suvarna, thank you. Then what about others? I don't want to provide space between numbers. I want to use comma. I want to keep comma in between numbers. For that case, what can I do? So here end is equal to space I provided now. For that reason, we are getting space here in between each and every number. Instead of that, I want to get a space here. Comma here. So that I will specify end is equal to comma. End is equal to comma. Now we can save this file. Then we can run module. Now it is asking a number to me, that is I'm giving 50. Now user given range is 50. So here numbers printing starting from 1 up to 50. 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma. In between each and every number there is a comma. Reason is we specified here end is equal to, within quotations I specified a delimiter. We will call this is a delimiter. Delimiter in the sense, that one will divide. We will keep the object in between 2. So that here we have a comma as it. Here comma is a delimiter. I kept that in between numbers 1 comma 2, then 2 comma 3, then 3 comma 4, something. I hope it is clear now, guys. Okay, that is fine. Thank you, Prasanna. Thank you, Sunita. Thank you, Swarna. Yes, that is fine. Now we will see one more example. One more example, that is, we'll see one more example. Print numbers, print numbers, print numbers, print numbers in between range. In between, in between range. So here I'm giving one more. Write a logic to print numbers in between range. In between range in the sense. So here I'm giving print number in a given range. There is a lot of, I mean, there is a lot of difference between in a given range and in between range. So here I'm giving in a given range. So that for this we are reading single number from user. Now I'm giving print numbers in between range. For that, for this case, how many values we need to read from user, guys? Now I want to print numbers in between range. In between range. For that, how many values we need to read? Absolutely, Prasanna. How many values we have to read now? Exactly, we have to read two numbers. Then only we can specify in between, right? One is the number one, that is the starting number. Another one is the ending number. So for that case, we will see another example. So now we have to read two different numbers. Now I want to read to complete this assignment. We have to read two numbers because here I specified in between range. In between range in the sense we have to specify. I mean user have to specify starting value. Then user only specify ending value. User only specify starting value from where we have to start. I mean from where we have to start iteration. Then user only will specify up to iteration ending position also. So that here we have to read start is equal to int of input that is over. Now end is equal to ending position also. I mean we have to read ending position also from user only. Int of input of that is over, right? So first when I run this program, it will run this one. So input method will read something value from user, then it will pass to int method. Int method will convert that number from string to integer, then it will assign to variable, that is start. Same way here also input will read something value as a string, then it will assign to int will convert that string value to integer, then it will store inside int. Now in this case how can we specify range method? For I in range of colon print of I. Now tell me parameters inside range. Now I have now I have two different variables, one is the start, another one is the end. Now let me how can I now tell me how can I pass these parameters. How can I arrange my range method? Now I have two different values with me, one is the start, another one is the end. As per my assignment, I have to print numbers in between range. That means in between range, so that range of absolutely Sai Kumar. Absolutely, we have to specify start, stop, step. Actually here no need to specify step, right? No need to specify any step because by default step is 1. We want to print, suppose if user giving starting value is the 2, ending value is the 10. In that case we have to print value from 2, 3, 4 up to 10. Exact value we have to include. So there is a step value, I mean inside range step value is by default, that is 1. No need to initialize that one. If you want to increase that value by 2, in that case only we have to specify third parameter. Otherwise for increasing one value there is no need to specify third one. So range of, so start from end. I want to include exact value, right? Ending value also I want to print. So for that what can we do? I want to print ending value also. If user giving 10 is the ending value, I want to print 10 also. For that case, what can I do here? I wants to include exact value. In previous examples also specified. Absolutely, we have to specify +1 to include exact value. To include, I mean, while printing a statement, to include exact value, we have to specify end +1. In that case only it will consider, otherwise you will face issues. So iter2, sorry, iter2.py. So I'm saving this file with the name of iter2.py. Now I want to run this file. Run module. So here it is asking, I mean, actually in this program I didn't, I mean, here I'm not passing any message for user. So the first input method is waiting for me, that is I'm giving starting value is 5. Then second time also I'm not showing, even in second input also I didn't specify anything to show user, so that it is showing empty. So here I will specify 20. Now I will get values from 5 to, I mean, 20. So starting value is 5, that is in between range, right? So in between range in the sense you have to read starting value, you have to read ending value. Now starting value is 5, ending value is 20. Now I have values like this: 5 6 7 8 9 10 and so on, 20 we have. So if it is not looking good to print in new line, then we just go with end parameter here. End is equal to, we have to specify comma there. Now here I want to specify message also. Enter starting value, enter starting value, then enter ending value. Enter ending value. Now I am reading two numbers from user. Save that file before executing. Then here it is asking enter a starting value. I am giving starting value is 4. Then ending value is 14. So value is printing starting from 4, then up to ending value, that is 14. I hope it is also clear, right? Please reply me in chat box. Yes, that is clear. Now I mean, uh, till now we are seeing examples on iterative statements only. Now I want to combine iterative and conditional statements. For that I will give small thing to you. Before going to that, for you I will give small assignment, guys. You please try to complete that one. Then we will see another examples. So print math table for a given number, so you have to work out, I mean, you have to complete this one, guys. You have to complete this assignment. Print a math table for a given number. For a given number in the sense you have to read input like this. So you have to read number from user, that is 5. So you have to print output like this. Print output, enter. So suppose here user given value is 5, right? So you have to print math table like this. 5 star 1 is equal to 5. 5 star 2 is equal to 10. Like that you have to print 5 star 10 is equal to 50. You have to specify. You have to print out like this, guys. You have to print out like this. You have to read a number from user like this. So here I'm giving value 5. User input value is 5. So that your program needs to print output like this. 5 star 1 is equal to 5. 5 star 2 is equal to 10. 5 star 3 is equal to 15. 5 star 4 is equal to 20. Like that you have to print up to 5 into 10 is equal to 50. For that case, how can you arrange your loop?
This conference will now be recorded.
That is fine. We are reading a single number from user. Then we have to print math table from 1 to 10, right? So that we are rotating loop range of 1 comma 11. Then we are writing statement like this. Then same way you can able to print, you can print math table in between range. So here we are writing logic, I mean here we have a logic to print a single number, to print a single mathematical table. Now we have to print. Now you can try to print, you can practice your own, guys. So I will give another one for your practicing. Print math tables up to given print math tables up to given number. Print math tables up to given number. Up to given number in the sense, here also you have to take one number. Here in this assignment also you have to read a single number, but for that here I will show you. So if user will give input like this, so if user's input is 3, in that case you have to print output. You have to print output one table. You have to print one table comma 2 table you have to print, then 3 table also you have to print. 3 table also you have to print. If in case if user will give input value is 10, in that case you have to print 1 table, 2 table, 3 table, 4 table, 5 table, up to 10 tables you have to print. For that you have to use inner loops, guys. Loop inside loop you have to use. You just try your own. Otherwise I will explain that by tomorrow. Loop for M also. Sorry, Vasudeva Reddy.
This conference will
How can
now
we
be
consider a
recorded.
given number is a prime or not? For that you have to you have to know theory, guys. You have to know, first you have to know what is the prime number. Then only you can able to implement prime logic. Number divisible by 1 and itself. Absolutely Vasudeva Reddy. Sorry, Swarna. Yes, absolutely. If a number have, if number have two factors, 1 and itself, if have factors 1 and itself, then only we will consider that is a prime number. For that actually we have 3 different ways, guys. You just do your you just go through your own way. Then later I will give you few advanced, few more ways. You just go your own way. If in case if you will fail that, then I will give another example to you. Then same way, these are enough, guys. When we will go to functions, then I will explain you all these assignments again. You just go through these assignments for your practicing purpose. Okay. If in case if you didn't understand, if you are not getting about these assignments, you please ask me. I will explain you again. Otherwise, you may leave the session now.